English, Grade 4, Block 12, Writing a Personal Letter, LP 1 to 4 by Teacher Shikha. Hey children, how are you all doing? Good? Great. How was the story of Peter Rabbit? Interesting, right? Why the story was interesting, children? Because Peter Rabbit's story was full of sensory details. Today, in this lesson, we are going to learn about writing a personal letter. How to write a personal letter. I'm going to discuss this with you all. So, students are going to do few things. First, they will identify the elements of a personal letter. Then they will plan and write personal letter that describe an event using sensory details. Then we will review a personal letter. We will check it. Finally, we will identify and use some possessive pronouns and nouns in the sentences. So basically, student will be able to identify the elements of personal letter. That is our main task. Keywords, heading, solution, body, closing, signature, letter, personal. So children, today we are going to learn the different parts of personal letter. Children, have you seen the letter box? The red letter box which is normally located near the footpath in different location. Nowadays, because technology is very advanced and people are used to of this new technology, so many of us have forgotten to write personal letter. But like Peter Rabbit's story was full of personal details, so we were enjoying reading that story. Same way, the personal letter are very touchy and very thrilling. When we receive it, we feel really good about it because the letters are also full of sensory details. Now, to begin with, let me explain little details about the letter writing. How many parts does a letter have? Which part comes first, second, and third, fourth, and fifth? What is written in each of these parts? A letter has 5 parts. The first part is the heading, which contains the writer's complete address and the date. Date is very important. The second part is the salutation, which is the opening greeting in any letter. The third part is the body, main body, which has the writer's thoughts in paragraph. The fourth part is called the closing, which is a way of saying goodbye. Like the salutation, the closing starts with a capital letter and ends with a comma. The final part is the signature of the writer. Now, when this letter writing thing comes, one question always strikes: why is it important to include each part of the letter? Listen carefully, children. The heading helps the person who gets the letter reply to the sender. A salutation is important to greet the receiver of the letter. After this, when the receiver reads the letter, the body contains the main message of the letter. The closing at the end helps the writer conclude the letter. Finally, the letter ends with the signature, which tells who wrote the letter. Now the question comes, why? Why do people choose to write personal letters? People write letters for a variety of reasons. They may want to tell a friend or a family member who lives far away about a special experience they had. They may want to invite someone they know to an event or celebration. Letters are a very personal way of communicating. They can be kept and read again to bring back memories. It tells the receiver of the letter that you have taken them to write it. It also helps you to express your thoughts creatively. How to write a letter, children? Now that is very important part. Where is the address written? How is the address written? Where is the date written? The address is written on the left side of the page. It needs to have the street, name of the city, pin code, state, name of the state, city, and pin code. Date is written under the address. So the 5 parts are heading, salutation, body, and closing signature. These are the 5 steps which we have to mainly follow. A personal letter is a type of a letter or informal composition that usually concerns personal matters rather than professional concerns and is sent from one individual to another. It is longer than a dashed off note or invitation and is often handwritten and sent through mail. Now, one very important point I would like to say is, why do we use details about the 5 senses in our personal letter? Because the purpose of our letter is to describe an expression. We use details about the 5 senses in our letters to help the reader imagine that experience. It also made the letter more enjoyable to read. Now tell me one thing, children. What makes a good letter? So, a letter can be considered a good letter if it has all the correct parts, conveyed the writer's message clearly, and finally ask about the receiver of the letter before closing. So children, we will do one example of writing a letter in our next video. After doing that example of writing a letter, student can plan and write a personal letter that describes an event using sensory details. Okay children, so we have a target. Next video we will do example and then you all have to write a letter. Okay, that will be your next project. So I am ending my part 1 video of writing a letter, planning and writing a letter, and in next video we will plan example. Till then, take care. Thank you. Bye bye, children.